What if I told you that a coin you've probably used 1,000 times, the Washington quarter, could be worth over $177,000? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. One very specific 1965 Washington quarter sold at auction for that jaw-dropping price, not because of what it is, but because of what went wrong when it was made. The Washington quarter has been a part of American currency since 1932. Most of them are practically worthless in daily use, worth just 25 cents. But the 1965 version has something special. Something rare. Something so subtle, even trained eyes can miss it. In this video you'll discover the full story of how a tiny minting error, one that wasn't supposed to exist, turned this quarter into a six-figure prize. You'll learn about the history, the transition from silver to copper-nickel, the mistake that made the error possible, and how to know if you might be holding one of these ultra-valuable coins. Let's uncover the mystery of the $177,000 quarter. To truly understand why the 1965 Washington quarter is so valuable, we need to go back in time. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. These silver coins had been standard for decades. But by the early 1960s, the rising price of silver was causing problems. The intrinsic value of the coins, the value of their metal alone, was approaching or exceeding their face value. People began hoarding silver coins, pulling them out of circulation. This created shortages across the nation, and the U.S. Mint was forced to act. In 1965, the Mint officially ended the production of silver quarters for circulation. A new composition was introduced, a clad coin made of copper-nickel layers over a pure copper core. These new quarters looked similar but were lighter and cheaper to make. Millions of these clad quarters were minted. But in the chaotic transition between silver and clad coinage, a mistake happened. A few leftover silver planchets from 1964 were still sitting in the machinery. And by accident, some of them were used to strike 1965 dated quarters. This shouldn't have happened. But it did. And now, these rare transitional error coins are among the most valuable quarters in history. Let's break it down. The 1965 quarter error is known as a transitional silver planchet error. It looks almost identical to any regular 1965 quarter, but it has one major difference: it was struck on a silver blank meant for the previous year's coins. Instead of copper-nickel cladding, the coin is made of 90% silver. So how do you tell the difference? Here's what collectors look for: weight. Silver quarters weigh about 6.25 grams, while copper-nickel quarters weigh around 5.67 grams. That tiny difference is crucial. If your 1965 quarter feels heavier, weigh it on a precise digital scale. Color. Silver coins have a more solid gray-white shine, while clad coins often show a copper edge. If your 1965 quarter has no visible copper on the edge and looks pure silver, that's a clue. Sound. Yes, coins have a sound signature. Tap a silver quarter gently on a hard surface, and it'll ring with a high, clear tone. Clad coins sound duller. No mint mark needed. The 1965 silver era quarters have no mint mark, but that's not unusual. Most 1965 quarters lack one. What matters is metal content, not location. Professional grading. If you suspect you've got one, never clean the coin. Send it to PCGS or NGC. A graded, authenticated 1965 silver error can fetch thousands, or even six figures if in mint state condition. One particular specimen, authenticated and graded MS-67 by PCGS, sold at auction for a staggering $177,000. Why? Because of its condition, rarity, and historical significance. Only a few dozen have been confirmed. And more may be out there, waiting to be discovered. You may be thinking, what are the chances that I have a rare quarter? Honestly? Slim. But not impossible. These coins can hide in plain sight. In old collections. In bank rolls. In grandpa's coin jar. In boxes of inherited change. They've been found in the wild before, and they'll be found again. If you're serious about hunting for a 1965 silver era quarter, here's what to do: gather all 1965 quarters you can find, from your own stash, from friends, from pocket change. The more you check, the better your odds. By a precision scale, look for a reading close to 6.25 grams. Anything over 5.7 grams deserves a second look. Examine edges. Silver quarters don't show the copper stripe on the edge. That's a giveaway. Check local coin shops and flea markets. You'd be surprised how often rare coins sit underpriced in old bins. Join coin forums and collector groups. Get second opinions. Share photos. Many collectors love helping identify rare finds. Educate yourself, watch videos, read coin books, subscribe to newsletters. The more you learn, the better your eye for spotting rarities.